Hello, and welcome back for another episode of the Accessible Technology Podcast. I'm your host, Phoebes Lyle, and this is a podcast where you get to hear all about the everyday technology that is accessible for disabled people, as well as learning what technology is less accessible and where you can also find out how tech companies can continue making their technology more accessible. My interest in accessible technology comes largely from the fact that I am paralyzed from the neck down, which means that my only bit of movement is my head, and I can only use technology with a chopstick or a stylus in my mouth. So if you or someone who is also interested in learning how technology can be used by people who have limited movement, you can follow the podcast by searching for the Accessible Technology Podcast on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Audible, and Spotify. However, if you'd like to support the podcast and the content I produce in other ways, you can also support it by going over to the Phoebes Now Buy Me a Coffee page, which is where you will also be able to find exclusive episodes that aren't part of the podcast, to give me a one-time donation or to check out other products that I will be releasing soon when I open an online shop on there. In this episode, however, we're going to be hearing about some black wireless earphones, which I got as a 23rd birthday present back in 2021, which ended up being the earphones that I used while trying to chill out on my side due to some health conditions, while following along with the January 6th protesters who stormed Washington, D.C. And it is really hard to believe that's 2 years ago now, but as is the case with a lot of things at the minute. But anyway, here's just a few extra notes about the brand of earphones we're covering today anyway, before I get fully into this episode. So these wireless earphones are XG-13 wireless earphones, and they were developed by a company called Gazechimp. They are in-ear only, but what makes them really cool is that they are capable of charging in the case that they come in, so you don't have to leave them out to charge them, and you can just put them in the case and then plug that in instead. And they are available to purchase on eBay, but other versions can be purchased through Amazon. But now that I've said all of that, let's get straight into this episode. So the version of the XG-13 wireless headphones or earphones that I have are the version 5.0 plus NEDR and Bluetooth range ones with a 10-meter transmission rate. The transmit power is 2.402/2 to 484 gigahertz, and the included charging case capacity is 350 mAh. The case is small enough so you can take the earphones and the case with you anywhere with ease, and they should fit into a bag easy enough. The earphones charge if you just place them into the case itself, but you can also charge them by plugging in the wire at the back of it. If you want to know what sort of charger you're looking for, it's a DC 5V charger, which Skullcandy fans like myself will be used to. You get a talk time of about 3.5 hours, music time of about 4 hours, and standby time of about 120 hours, so you definitely get good usage out of them. When you open the case, the earphones will just be lying there, and they should be a good enough size for whoever's using them, and you can get them in black and white. But what do you think about the wireless earphones overall? Well, I think it's cool that you can charge them inside the case. I like how you don't have to use both of them at the same time, and I like how good the overall volume is on them, and the voice you hear to let you know that they're connected, because it definitely sounds a lot nicer than even the Skullcandy ones, or at times. Saying that, there are various reasons why I still use my Skullcandy headphones as my main headphones throughout the day, and only use these wireless earphones when I'm watching a movie or something at night. As a lot of you will know, I can only use my head, and this means that I'm moving around a lot, which would cause the earphones to fall out. Although they're comfortable, I do think that the slipping out bit is a bit why I wouldn't use them as much, although other people who have other disabilities would find it accessible enough. But other than that, yeah, the only other thing I would say would be that they would have to also have a voice control feature so that someone like myself can turn them up without having to panic about dropping something that we use to help. But other than that, guys, that's all I have to say for now. So what are your thoughts on the XG-13 wireless earphones? Do you agree that they offer good sound, or do you disagree with anything that I've said about them? And have you had any problems with them as far as keeping them in your ears go? If you would like to pass on some of your thoughts, you can include them in a review wherever you're listening to this on, as well as via the contact pages over on my Phoebe's Tech Reviews site, or on my phoebeloud.com site, both of which are linked below. If you're interested in watching the other videos that I have done on accessible technology before, you can find more of them by searching for PL Tech Reviews on YouTube. But if you are also interested in watching my accessible tourism reviews, as well as my film, TV, theatre and political videos. You can find them by searching for my Phoebes Now Journalism channel on YouTube. However, if you're interested in those topics, but you would still prefer a video-free version of all of them, you can find an equivalent by searching for the Phoebes Now podcast on all of the same destinations as you can listen to this podcast on. But of course, there is also the Buy Me a Coffee page. In the next episode, you'll be hearing a review of the 2020 Magic Folio case by Apple, which is compatible with every iPad Pro up to date if you have either the 11 or 12 inch. And after that, I'll be reviewing the Xbox Pulse Red controller for the Xbox Series X and S, while also touching on how well it works on an Xbox One S. After that episode comes out, however, I'll be reviewing the Blue Snowball Ice microphone, which is the microphone that I use for recording this podcast, as well as the microphone that I use for adding voiceovers and recording videos when I do everything on my Mac. If you would like to support me via my socials, you can do so by searching for @PhoebesLyle on Twitter and by searching for the real Phoebes Lau on Instagram. And you can also follow the Phoebes Lau Tech Review site if you have a WordPress account. But anyway, thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you on the next one. Bye!